Hallelujah, and may the Lord's peace be with you, children of the Most High. We had been getting questions concerning wine and alcohol in the Bible. We have seen people justifying taking alcohol using the book of 1 Timothy chapter 5 verse 23, where Timothy was instructed by Paul to take little wine for his stomach. Also, some people justify taking alcohol, saying that Jesus had converted water into wine and people took the wine. But was all wine containing alcohol? What does the Bible say? Yes, there are a lot of verses in the Bible which speaks about wine containing alcohol. But there's also a situation where we find how wine was brewed. And we need to understand that not all wine mentioned in the Bible had alcohol. Older Bibles, like King James Version and other Bible, which were translated into English or French or Latin, had no alternative word to use, had no the word juice. English got the word juice from French. Juice, that's J-U-S. And it just meant broth. It meant broth or something obtained from boiled vegetables or pressed fruits. That is in the year 1300, 1300 AD. The French got this word from Latin, ius, I-U-S. It also meant broth, sauce, or soup, not fermented. So there was no way the word juice could have found itself in the Bible, yet it never existed. When you read the book of Numbers, chapter 6, verse 3, older Bibles like King James Version, not the New King James Version, the original King James Version, it mentioned about liquor. It talks about liquor. And liquor is usually of two kinds when you search the meaning of the word liquor. It can be alcohol, and also it meant a liquid obtained from something which has been steeped or cooked. That is liquor. So when you ferment it, you still get alcohol, which is liquor. And also it can still remain non-alcoholic, also called liquor. But New Bible like NIV, the book of Numbers chapter 6 verse 3, you find they introduce the word juice. So they were not allowed to take alcohol, and also they are not allowed to take juice. So they are not allowed to take wine fermented and also wine unfermented. But when you go further, when you read the book of Genesis chapter 40 verse 9 to 11, that is a dream. So the chief cupbearer told Joseph his dream. He said to him, now see how he used to make wine for the pharaoh. He said to him, in my dream I saw a vine in front of me, and on the vine were 3 branches. As soon as it budded, it blossomed, and its clusters ripened into grapes. So he had grapes. Pharaoh's cup was in my hand, and I took the grapes. So one hand had grapes, and one hand had cup. Squeezed them into Pharaoh's cup and put the cup in his hand. What was that? So the grapes were squeezed directly to Pharaoh's cup, and he was served. Typically, that is wine. And it is still non-alcoholic. It has not been fermented. The book of Genesis chapter 9 verse 20 to 21, we see how Noah took wine and how he behaved. That typically showed the wine was fermented. That was alcohol. But the case of Pharaoh, the case of this dream Ben explained to Joseph, that was purely wine. So, let us not justify our actions of taking alcohol quoting such verses. When you read the book of Proverbs, chapter 23, verse 20 to 21, it is written, "Do not join those who drink too much wine or gorge themselves on meat." So even this Bible does not, when you talk of too much wine, does it mean you have to take too little alcohol? No. This wine here, there's high possibility it is non-alcoholic, because the second just part B, it says or gorge themselves with meat on meat. Does the Bible say don't take meat? No. So even if you take juice, too much juice is a sin. Even if you take meat, too much meat is a sin. Verse 21, it is written, "For drunkards and gluttons become poor, and drowsiness clothes them in rags." So a glutton is a person who takes too much food every time they are on food. They have no time to rest. Maybe even they want to fast, they can't fast. But the Bible does not say you should not eat. So we cannot use this verse and say, oh, we should not take meat. No. We cannot use this verse of the Bible and say you should not take your food. If it is rice, take rice. If it is bread, take bread. But too much of it, you are glutton, you are a sinner. So if you just, every time you take milk, milk is not bad. But when you are drunkard with meat, that's very bad. So the one who's taking alcohol and the one who's taking too much meat, both of you are sinning. But the point I'm trying to drive out is this. What was being squeezed in Pharaoh's cup was juice. But the word juice that time didn't exist. All of them, fermented or non-fermented, were called wine. The difference was that one was having alcohol and one was not having alcohol. May the Lord give us knowledge, wisdom, and understanding in everything we do. Thank you so much. Shalom.